Well, good evening to you. Hello, everybody. Alicia. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. We get lightheaded, hopefully. Wow. Well, we will be thinking of you and praying for you, and just don't try to do too much here, okay? Oh my goodness, girl. Wow. Well, it's not moving, so hopefully I can see everybody else here too. Oh, it's been a day to start May out like this. Oh my goodness. My power went out this morning for about an hour and a half. So I'm like, I was just about to get into the shower, which was a good thing I wasn't there in the middle of that with everything going out. But I still don't know what the reason was. Um, it's been very, very windy here. So it could have been a tree came down on a transformer or something, so I don't know. Um, I see everybody else. There are more people coming in, but my chat is not moving. So hopefully. Oh, there you go. Dave, hello. How are you? Live chat. So no worries. Worries. You're only like a minute late, so not a biggie. I hope I have enough water here for the hour. So yeah, it's been a crazy day. I had a 3-hour Zoom meeting at noon. But I also had to wait for a delivery to come, and they came around. What time did they come? 10:30, quarter to 11, something like that. And it was it's more landscaping block and stuff like that. And um, and right before that, the power went out. It was just a little after 10, the power went out. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is not good. Because I don't have internet or anything like that. I mean, I could have gotten I have a little generator, and if I needed to, if the power hadn't come on, I would have, at least started up my internet again with that and stuff like that. But it all came on and got things reset. I can't forget. I have to go down in the basement and check the water softener, because a lot of times when the power goes out, that doesn't reset itself, and therefore it's not running and filtering any water that I'm using. So pretty soon I have totally like hard water and stuff like that. So anyway, all that to start my Monday morning, and I was supposed to um, get my guitar to the shop, which is like 45 minutes away. I was supposed to do that early this morning so that I could come back, but because I didn't know what time the delivery would be, and then my power going out, that I'd make it back in time for the meeting. Didn't plan for the meeting to take 3 hours. So by the time that was over, I was almost 3:30 actually, and I was like, not gonna have time to get down there and get back and take care of everything for the live. So it's just been kind of one of those crazy, crazy days. So I am my I've had an internal mic system in my guitar, and I had it put in probably 20 years ago, and it has since gotten old and shorted out and stuff and like that inside. So I'm gonna get a new internal microphone on my guitar that I can just plug in. So I miss that, not being able to plug in. And so I'm, instead of having to mess with another microphone, or I do have one that's like an external microphone that you can clip right at the hole of the guitar and stuff like that and plug into the system, but that's only got a 5-foot cord. And so it's like I can't go very far with that. So anyway, I want to be able to plug in at the end of my guitar and have it like a 25-foot cord and be able to go someplace with it. So anyway, yes, so I think it's time to do that. And but they need it for like 2 or 3 days, and I need my guitar back by the end of the week. So I'm like, okay. And then they don't open till 10. Like tomorrow, they open at 10, but it's south of here, so it's 45 minutes south. I have to be a half hour north of me by 12. So I'm like an hour and a half driving there and then taking 20 minutes or so at the shop and then getting back up there. I won't be able to do it tomorrow morning either. It's just like this week is just like so full of schedule that I don't think it's going to happen this week. I have to wait till next week, but I want to get it done now, you know? So, you have the same sound hole mic? Yeah. Um, right. The internal one, there's so much better. And the the shop is called Fat Freddy's, which is kind of fun. But and I don't know if I've ever been there or not, but anyway, the town that I usually shop at north of me is they don't do that kind of stuff anymore at their guitar shop. So I have to find another place. But anyway, yes, the internal mic is so much better. And he said that the new ones have great sound to them compared to what there used to be. So kind of excited about that. And it's really not too for me, for the microphone and the labor and everything else, I think it's $150, which to me is not bad at all. I mean, what is the other option to buy a guitar, another new guitar, with all the mic system all built in and stuff like that? But then it's like $700, $800, and it's like, no. I could just, I mean, because I like my guitar, it's got good sound. So yeah, $150 to get all that done, and because the mic itself is got to be at least $100, $120. So, and then they put new strings on it, so you restring it and everything. And my strings are only beginning of March, so barely 2 months old. But I have played on it a lot, so I'm okay with getting some new ones on there. But so yeah, so I think that's very reasonable. Very, very reasonable. So, but just logistically trying to take care of all that. And I mean, I called him like the beginning of last or middle of last week, and it's like, okay, beginning of next week, I'll bring it in. And schedule has just blown up. It has gotten crazy. Um, oh, I just want to see what our temperature. We have been under high winds for the last couple days, really since like Saturday night, I think. So it's 54 degrees right now, which is a gorgeous springtime temperature. But we also have had northwest winds, pretty well sustained 25 to 30 miles an hour. So it's been kind of breezy. And I think those winds are what interfered with the power this morning. And I mean, like I've told you before, I only a handful of times have in 27 years have I ever lost power. And so like this is like really, really kind of crazy. Hey, Ivani, how are you? So no reason for it. I don't know what the result was, but they fixed it in within an hour and a half. So I was pretty happy with that. And it could be somebody out digging something. Sometimes it's a car accident. Somebody runs into a transformer or a farm accident or something, and it's like, who knows? Way out here in the middle of nowhere. So, um, I was telling you guys last week about a lot of the different things that um, I need to get done around here and everything, and kind of feeling a little overwhelmed about some stuff. But the one thing that was a really good thing was that I do not have to replace my roof. So, for those of you who, Dave, you'll understand about roof pitch and stuff like that. So, I found out that, oh, and you got to really whenever you hire contractors, you have to really, 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 really be careful of what they do and like just watch and be on them. But the guys who replaced my roof 6 years ago, they ended, and I was telling you about this roof vent on that extra little piece that's over my dining room that had been added on, and there's a roof vent there because there's no other air exchange in that part of the roof. So anyway, the roof vent, they used the old one that was already like 20 years old. I'm just like, really? Why? It's like, another way that they could just, they don't have to put $50 out for that. They'll just, you know, um, they'll make an extra buck here or there if they could just use some old stuff. And I was like, oh, so frustrating because that gets a lot of snow weight on there. And so it was old, it was brittle, and it was made out of plastic, first of all, too. And so the plastic had, you know how sun damage on plastic for really old stuff, it was all covered with that, but there was a huge crack in the top of the plastic. And that's what the all the snow melt was just coming right in there. And I'm like, I just, what their laziness is costing me now, right? And so not only to repair the roof and get that all done, but then repair all my ceiling inside and all of that stuff. So, and it's going to end up costing me about $1,600 just for those repairs because they were too lazy to replace that I had paid for. So, but again, I don't get up on the roof to double check and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, Alicia, so Vonnie, you just paid a ton of money to get your laundry room faucet fixed by a plumber. A plumber make good money. Oh yeah, they do. They charged me $500 to install a new faucet, which I had already bought. It was just their labor. I'm like, oh my gosh, it is. You had to get a new washing machine. Oh yeah, it can all stop. I hear you. I hear you. Um, they usually always update. I know. It's just crazy. You feel really taken advantage of when stuff like that happens. And, um, you know, uh, that's what creates a lot of mistrust in working with contractors and different things like that. And so I'm like, oh, same happened at your house. Oh, an old owner re-roofed it with cheap guy and they didn't replace flashings. Oh, I know. That's the other thing I'm worried about is because, the flashing that I had before where the eaves met, um, I could see the flashing before, and then this one, they took the shingles and overlapped the flashing where it all met, so it's covering up the flashing. So I'm really, really worried that they had used old stuff, and I mean, hopefully things are gonna be okay, but, I don't know. You having a blood test right now, oh, good, I'm glad your tomatoes are growing well, so, yeah, hopefully everything will go with you okay with you, Alicia. We one time if anybody doesn't know, Alicia's in the emergency room right now, so a few little prayers out there for her, that would be great. Um, all you kids went together to roof your parents' home, and relatives said they knew what they were doing. Oh. Oh. And that's right there, Vonnie. That's kind of the crux of what my subject is tonight, and so many times what I talk about is stuff that I'm going through right now too, so, but I know other people deal with that too, as obviously you guys have. Um, okay, okay. Thanks for the term on that, Woven Valley. So, I'm hoping it is. I mean, it's been 6 years and doesn't seem to be leaking through there at all, but anyway, I had this other contractor up and he took that all apart and replaced it, and it was like couple hours before the rain started coming, so it was very, very good, and so I'm gonna have him out to do more work for me, but, oh, happy birthday, Vonnie. I know mine's coming up in a month. Glad you're hitting that before me. Oh, it's, today they said a 2-year warranty. And that is the other thing on top of things is that not only is stuff horribly more expensive, but things don't last nearly as long anymore because the quality of materials is so cheap. And they do that because, um, bottom line dollar, if they make the really good quality that's gonna last a long time, uh, they don't have as many people coming back and, buying over again. So, I had that discussion with my plumber when he was out, and, it was like, it's a catch-22. I know, so, well, happy birthday to Corey. Happy birthday to Corey. So, right, you don't know. It's, you get older and you can't do the super person stuff anymore. Oh, no kidding. I know, it's like, 20 years ago, I probably would have climbed up that ladder and it's like maybe not walked around on the roof, but at least gotten up on the ladder and looked around. It's like checked it out. But anyway, it is hard to find somebody that you can end up trusting then too, because you're shelling out a good bit of money. And but anyway, this contractor that fixed my roof, he was telling me that because one of the quotes I wanted from him, an estimate was, and I got an estimate from another roofer too, was to like, I think I was telling you before, put metal on that section so that the snow could shed off more. And he and his wife are like a team that they come out and work together. But anyway, he was telling me that because that roof, that section is a 512 pitch, he's like, I gotta be honest with you, he said, I don't think the metal roof is gonna give you the results that you want. He said, if it was a 612 pitch, which my shed is, he said that, then definitely, you could shed it it would shed off and everything. But a 512, he said, I think you're gonna run into the same problems that you're having now of the snow piling on. And he said, I think you're gonna be spending a whole lot of money for not getting the results that you want. He said, right now the roof is in really good shape. The underlayment is solid. There's no squishiness, as he's walking through around it and everything. As long as everything is dry and it's not leaking, the shingles are in good shape. So he said, I would leave it at this point, and it's like, um, so which I really appreciated that kind of honesty in that. So yeah, okay, Dave, if 512 probably still need a rake. Exactly. Ricky, hello to you. You're back in Minnesota. You've just been flitting all over the country. um so don't worry about it, Alicia. No, you just take care of yourself and do what you need to do. And you don't even have to type in. You can just listen if you want. So yeah, that I hear you. Oh, that's so great. I'm so glad you had a good time. Um, yeah, so at this point, I have too many other things that are really priorities as long as that's working okay. And so anyway, they put a brand new roof vent up and it's well made, well built. He sealed it up really well. So hopefully that's going to take care of everything. Um, you know what, Vonnie, that's something else I'm gonna look at, alternatives to help that melt on the edge, just different things to prevent ice dams. So, because I wouldn't be re-roofing at that, I can maybe think about putting, a little money into doing something like that. So, okay. Um, is that what it is? Actually, heat rope? I'm not even sure. So Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that. Yes. So anyway, that again is like I said, a lot of what I'm going through depend, kind of drives what I end up talking about. So again, it's like, so when to do it yourself or when to hire a contractor. A new roof for spring. Oh, I know that would be good. But anyway, it's not leaking. Everything's working well with that, and I can move on to getting new sidewalk and steps and fixing the inside. And so there's a lot of other projects that have to be done. But so essentially, so when do you decide to do it yourself, a DIY, or when is it best to get a contractor in? And the thing is, you can always have contractors come out and look, give an estimate, check things out. You can call 50 of them if you want to, but don't feel bad about that. It's part of what they have to do. And you don't have to decide anything up until the time you either agree or sign a contract or something like that. So you can still kind of weigh your options and different things like that. Bonnie, that's awesome. See, when it comes to electrical, I don't touch that. I don't know how to do it, and it's like, mm-mm. Big jobs that need substantial tools. Yep, exactly. That's part of what they were talking about in here. So, in the description below, I put a couple articles in. So, if you guys need to reread that or kind of get some information again on that, that's awesome. Yeah, that's the best thing to do. Yeah. I mean, I've done plumbing before, but not well. So, I'm at the point now it's hard to crawl under the sinks anymore. My knees just aren't working right because of arthritis and stuff. So, it's like, yeah, it cost me $500 to have a plumber out to put in a faucet. But again, it was just, it took him 2.5 hours. And it was a real grunt job for him too, and he was just like, so it was like, I'm glad I didn't try to tackle it, you know? Dave, that is well, that's just what you do though too, right? Isn't that part of what your knowledge base is, HVACs and stuff? I think so. Right, Ricky? And 'cause I even asked him, it's like, what happened to the $120 plumber visit type of thing that I had a few years ago? It's like, that's a thing of the past. It's, okay, ceiling fans, yeah, you used to install heating for a living, okay, that's what it is. Um, so for small, simple projects, the DIY approach can end up working. But for complicated, risky things, especially if you don't have the tools or the knowledge, don't even try it. And you see so many videos in the homestead community that everybody, you get your homestead and you're building everything yourself. It's almost all 100% DIY. And I think that it's awesome that people are doing that. It's great and everything. And they save a lot of money. They seem to save a lot of money, let's put it that way. But, I think it does, in a way, a little disservice to everybody else who doesn't have a skill set, doesn't have that ability, and they think that they have to do that, And so, um, I think, and that's another reason I wanted to kinda talk about this because it's like you're watching somebody that has or the time, right? Um Yep, time is money, absolutely. So, anyway, of course, there's something very appealing about the idea of a do-it-yourself home improvement project or, different things. But tackling a job yourself can save money on labor costs and enjoy work that's been done with your hands. So you stand back and you're going, wow, look what I did. And then it all falls apart. Yeah. So, Wendy, hello. Oh, I'm so sorry. you're in bed sick, and Alicia's in a hospital bed right now. So it's oh, you're hiring a guy to install your new outdoor heat pump. You don't have the skills or tools for refrigerant piping. Exactly. Um, professional contractors can handle certain tasks that are complicated or time consuming or just even downright unpleasant. It's like you don't want to pump your own septic tank, right? It's like hire somebody to come out and pump your septic tank. It's like just do it. So anyway, there's always a smart choice here and there. So hey Donna, how are you? Sorry you came in on that particular statement there. That's why you pay here. They offer warranty on home furnace, water heater, stove. It costs me $100 a month. Okay. Cheap gas grill. You have $200 this one. Okay. Oh, that's kind of cool. You hire the pumper truck, but you save money by digging out the lid for. Oh, that's a good idea. Hey, Kathy, how are you doing? So, kind of the very first thing to do is to look at budget. That will certainly dictate your decisions in the world of home renovations. I'm not talking about just interior, but anything on the outside, even just putting up fencing or something like that. Is it something you could do, or something you can, you know, do yourself, or you have to contract that out? Um, Again, where's your network of friends, right? Friends and family. Where are their skill sets too? If you have a family member who is like a certified electrician, you know, take advantage of that, right? Um, but if you have somebody who just kind of tinkered a little bit with stuff, I wouldn't have them rewiring my whole house. That's for sure. Oh, definitely right, Donna. Oh my goodness. So, no, labor and materials get more and more expensive all the time. They really do. The new trends in inflation can cause even the most novice renovator to delve full steam ahead. It's like, you might it might cost you $1,500 to do it yourself. It might cost $10,000 to hire a contractor. And it's like, so you're looking at the budget, you go, you know, and it's like, whoa. So you're looking at those and it's like, okay, can I do this myself? Um, so you just have to kind of look at that. Um, Before you start researching all of that, though, to figure out how to do it, spending tons of hours on YouTube, trying to figure out what to do with it. Um, it might seem that that project is going to save you a lot of money, but will it really? Do you have all the necessary tools? Like Dave was saying, he's going to hire this out because he doesn't have the tools. There are a lot of things I don't have the tools for. Although I will have to say that I did, sorry about this little rabbit trail here. Was it last year or the year before? I had some trees trimmed. The guy came out for maybe 45 minutes at the most, half hour, 45 minutes, trimmed a few branches off, ones that were just hitting the house and kind of in the way. Um, Charged me $350. I was like, okay, I was okay with it at that point in time. But I have since bought, just last month, I bought a pole saw, a DeWalt pole saw that I have now. So I can do a lot of my own trimming. Yes, the saw cost me $170, but that is half the price of somebody coming out for a half hour and trimming stuff. So now I can just trim some trees, It's like I need to get out there and do that now. I haven't fired things up. My schedule's been so crazy. So but that's kind of something, that's an example. It's like, okay, you pay somebody to come out and it's like, is that something I can do? It certainly is if it's within the stretch of the 10 or 12 feet that I can get to with that pole saw. Um, so Yeah, and it's you know, I don't like spending $170, for a tool like that, but when it'll pay for itself in the first 20 minutes that I use it, so, I have to look at that too and figure that out, and plus it's a cordless saw, it's, a battery-powered saw, so I'm like so I might have some fun with it, and I can also reach into areas that I couldn't normally get into, like into the lilac bushes and different things like that and stuff, so yes, exactly, Donna, right? 170 power and you probably hit 75 for manual saw. Okay, okay, well, thank you. Um, so anyway, the tools. Do you have the tools? It's like, okay, if they're gonna be sheetrocking and stuff like that, do I have all the tools necessary to do the sheetrock? I'm by myself. It's not like I have, you know, um, a husband and grown kids and stuff that can just come over and let's all lift this piece of sheetrock up to the ceiling. It's like I'd have to have one of those lifts. I'd have to do this, and I'd have to, all the kind of stuff that I don't have. And I don't even know if the rental place in town, if Ace Hardware would even have that. So, um, that's where it's like just pay somebody to come in and do it. And again, like Ricky said, our time too. Oh, Ricky, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Yeah, there was I don't know if you guys remember or not. It wasn't Was it last summer or the summer before? Um I can it must have been beginning of last summer. We had lots of powerful storms come through, and there was a tornado that hit just north of me, and it wiped out the whole shoreline of a town and everything. And anyway, those also, I think it was that storm. I mean, we had so many storms in a row, but one hit Alexandria north of me, and so and I often drive through those areas, and there was just huge trees down all over the place. I mean, we're talking 20, 30 trees in a lot, in a homeowner's property. And anyway, they're still laying all over the place. My chiropractor was telling me, he said there were some companies that wanted $10,000 a tree to remove it. And I'm like, "What?" It's like, no wonder there's still big trees laying all around there. It's like 10 grand to remove a tree. So Bonnie, the 2,000 for your whole yard, it was like, "Oh, I know. It's so insane." True, Donna, depends on how quickly you want it done. Um Taping is hard. You ran fence last week, redoing your existing fence. You have acquired 3-point post hole digger. There you go. A fence stapler. That's a generator. See there, you've gotten the equipment for something that you knew you needed to, you wanted to do yourself and to be able to do it. And there are a lot of times, if you have the time and the ability to do it, when you buy the materials and the tools for that, and you could still do it, that's far cheaper than being able to do it. So it's looking at all of that and weighing all of your options. Hey, Joy, how are you? Yes, Donna, exactly. Oh my goodness. I know what happened to the day where they come out, $200 to take that tree down. And that was like, "Ugh," even to me, but it's add another zero to it. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Patty, hello. Thanks for coming on. So, so again, do you have all the necessary tools? Will you have a team of helpers that can learn quickly alongside you? Or is there, is it going to be a case of the Three Stooges trying to work on everything, right? Um, so it's worth noting that contractors do have access to all the tools that they would need for a specific job. And that's, I guess, and again, I know part of what their fees are because they've got a lot of overhead, the cost of all the tools, um, the traveling and everything, their insurance, their licensing, all the kind of stuff. So I get it. I really do. You don't have many trees anymore. Um, there you go. Yep, Donna, right? Insurance. So the contractors can, if they don't have a team right there, they can subcontract a team to help them or something. So, you know, um, again, do you have the time to devote to your DIY project? You know, um, I have my business from home. If I get into a project, even like just building my garden beds, that was like an all summer long type of thing. It was a lot of work and a lot of hours, but it was something I wanted to do, something that was within my skill set. I could do it. I have no idea what it would cost me to have somebody come out and build those. Oh my gosh, it'd be crazy. Or even buying certain beds, they're already made, but I don't know that we'd be able to find them the way I built them. So I don't know. But hey, Kiri, wages are going up again. Yep. Insurance. Yeah, everything's going up. You own an incubator, but your friends don't. The chickens are sold. They don't lay anymore. Oh, I love barter. That is so great. Yes. And that wasn't even part of what I was going to talk about tonight, but bartering is just like fantastic. So, absolutely. Oh, exactly, Vonnie. I hear you. You don't have help you thought would be here to replace your windows. Oh, exactly, Patty. And that's one of the things we were talking about at the beginning before you got here too, is sometimes it's worth it to do that because y- so many contractors are not um they lack integrity, let's just say that. And so you have to really really be careful, and so getting somebody that can do the job well and that is warranted and different things like that is sometimes really important. um so yes, your time. If you don't have the time as a DIYer, if you just have like 2 hours here or maybe 3 hours on a Saturday or something, and the project is just going to go slowly and a little piece at a time. If you're okay with that, with the whatever the project is, then go for it. If you have the ability, the skills, the tools, and you don't need something done right away, then just like my garden beds, it took me a long time. So, but if it's something that you have a time constraint on, if it's something that, like my roof was leaking and it was like, I could have at some point waited for one of my nephews or something to say, "Hey, can you come over and take care of this?" It's like, well, maybe in 3 weeks I could get there. And it's like, well, it's raining and my roof is leaking. And it's like, I need to get that done. So, uh, what do you have that you had to do it 2 years ago? It was awful. I know. It just drains your bank account, that's for sure. So, anyway, so yeah, as far as DIY, your or contractors' time and different things like that, they also have the ability to come and work for 8 or 10 hours or something like that, and just put in a full day and just get the job done with their skill set. They can zip through it rather quickly, that type of thing. So, yeah. Another one of the projects that I have to get done is my bathroom floor. I just had that replaced 6 years ago. Well, they did such a poor job on it, and, I had some, water issues and overflowing and stuff like that, but it's all the, they didn't replace the subfloor, they just said, "Oh, what's under there is just fine." Well, that has all rotted and everything's sinking and falling apart, and it's a mess in there. So I have to pay somebody now to redo the whole floor in there. And, just like the roof thing, and it was the same contractors that did the roof. So I'm they're they also put my shower surround in backwards. So there's no way I can put any type of, glass doors on the tub or anything like that. I mean, it's just like I come across more and more and more that they've done, and it is just so frustrating, but, um, you've heard so many say lately they eat for pay for someone to fix something, so many it's tough. Yeah. You have to plan around your husband's work schedule. He drives truck and is only home on weekends. Last week was vacation. We got a lot done considering the rainy week. Oh, good. Um, yes, Dave, absolutely. Um, he's charged, I think it's either 12 or $1,600 to replace I don't have that in front of me right now, but and I have $1,000 deductible, so I don't I mean, my brother is my insurance agent, so, I mean, I could certainly check with him on that. I don't have, I could see about getting something reimbursed, but, um, for that little bit of extra, I don't know if it's worth it for me, but hoping the floor under your water heater will be okay after getting the new one. Oh, she said I need that in writing. Ah, there you go. I know, it's just those things you keep on coming across, and we're we're very trusting people, I think. It's like we take people for their word, and it's like trust that the professional is gonna do the work that they do, and, it's we're in a world right now where it's just really it's frustrating how people have, a lack of integrity. They have no compunction at all about lying straight to your face or stealing or cutting corners or anything like that. It's like, um, yeah, I- I've got several clients for building websites who have been totally screwed over by other designers who have, um, you know, um, done really, really, really unethical things to them. And it was just like, I've left them high and dry without a website, without after paying all thousands of dollars in, all kinds of stuff. And it's like, how there's yeah, there will be a justice for them at some point. There will be. So I just and so it reinforces my stand, I guess you could say, or my viewpoint of giving a person the very best that I can, and knowing what they've gone through. And so I just need to, and if I have to pay somebody who's doing a good job, and so hopefully, you know, each thing that I have, it's going to be little separate jobs. So um, I can, I think I can easily, monitor that a little bit better. But I also have learned a lot. So, don't ever, for any of you, when you have a contractor come in, don't ever feel upset about or afraid to confront them on something because they're the professional. It's like even going to the doctor, ask questions, if you have doubts or concerns about something, voice them. If if the contractor's coming and or has done something and you realize, even if it's after the fact, that hey, you didn't, they were supposed to fix a door for me, an outside storm door. Again, the same old contractors. And so you know, they put in maybe a new door, and but they put the old hydraulic arm in, and it was like that was maybe halfway working or something. But see, I paid for the new one, but they kept it for another job, and it was like to get double paid on it. I'm like, it's that kind of yeah, I can't go there anymore, but yeah, it is, right. So, um No kidding, Kathy. Absolutely. The "No man cared for me, God cares for me." Can't recall the adjective. Oh, thank you, Patty. That's a very good one. Yep. Yep, you guys. So, there's no accountability and perspectives that you know of. Oh, that's so true. That's so true. And the old contractors that I had, I mean, I even tried calling at that time and then calling on this whole last year, and they won't return my phone calls. They just ignore me. So it's like, mm. So the word will get out that these people are not, um, worthy to do that. So anyway, I've got 15 minutes and a whole ton of stuff here left. So again, your skill set, consider that, what your abilities are. Um, if as a wife you're going, "Hey, my husband will do this. We can do this. We can have that." Make sure that he's on board too. And he was like, "Say what, honey? I'm going to be doing what? I don't know how to do that." Oh, thanks, Alicia. I will, Wendy. I'm going to get the word out most definitely. So, again, the difficulty level. So consider all the potential obstacles that you can think of and be sure you are well equipped to handle them. So, let's say getting up on the roof, fixing something yourself. Do you have a ladder that will extend that far? Or are you trying to get up on a 6-foot ladder with a 4-foot gap and trying to climb up over where it's not safe? Or, just different things like that. Would be so if you discover mid-project that it's too difficult, then you've wasted a lot of time and money. So now a contractor will have to come in, try to correct your mistakes, finish the project. The worst case scenario would be that if all of your work will have to be removed and the project start over from scratch. So that would be a whole huge waste of materials, and not only your time too, but material. And oh, it would be, if a friend would have told us, we would not have used a bad plumber. Yeah. When you were a kid, your house needed a new tar roof. Mom came home where the TV antenna had been on the roof. Oh, oh, oh. Yes, I am actually, Dave. I do not like heights. Um, I mean, I will get up on a ladder and everything, but walking around on the roof, I don't know. Not it's beyond me at this point, but anyway, so and then the desired finish of your project, okay? I mean, like, I've got a bunch of cabinets that I built for all of my canning equipment and stuff like that. They're very rudimentary, they're very rustic, they're very it's a lot of warped wood and things just don't quite fit perfectly and stuff, but they work and they're all uniform. They're all uniformly rustic and everything, but they work for me. I like them. It gives me a very where they are in the dining room, it's a very kind of oh, what's the word? I don't know. It's like a New England vibe, the lakeshore type of thing. So Cape Coddish type of thing. So anyway, I'm good with it, and it's like there are a couple other cabinets in here too that I've built, but that's the extent of my skill set. I wasn't looking for something, perfect and different things like that. If I did, I would, um, like I want some shelves up here. I'm having my brother do them. He's a professional cabinet maker. So it's like, okay, that I can, that I will pay him for to do and to get those up there. The rest of it, I just bought the wood and did it myself. So the same with the garden beds, the, I for being outside and for holding dirt and growing things, I think they're fine. They're great, and it gives a certain ambiance to the garden and everything. So good enough is good enough, right? Absolutely. Oh, thanks, Bonnie. Um, the friend who fell off a ladder busted, like, "Oh, no." Ooh, yeah. Love that cottage vintage look. Oh, thanks. So, aw, thanks. Yeah, and see, that's where my skill set is too. I work in computers and designing, and that's where my training is. So, yeah, I can absolutely do it. So, what is your desired finish for that? Do you want wood floors that look just like picture perfect and everything and just super even and glossy and everything? You want that done, but you know you can't do it? Hire it out. If I want a faucet going in my kitchen sink that doesn't leak and that I don't have problems with, I don't have to keep a bucket under the P-trap, then it's like, I'm gonna hire a plumber to do that, you know? It was a good thing he did come out because there were, some connections that were cracked that needed new, baskets in the sink, and it needed, just some he had to replace, put some new PVC pipe in there instead of the old, metal pipes and stuff. So, there was a lot more work involved that went on with that, but, yes, yes, definitely references, business bureau ratings, exactly. Um, so, yeah, so what your desired finishes. So, when do you try DIY? If the project is small enough to learn quickly on it, it's like, okay, I've never built a garden bed before. Let me look at some things. How do you do the Shoshugibon burning method? So I'm reviewing a lot of that, and it's like then I go to try it. It's like, okay, things like that. Those are if it's small enough, you can learn quickly with it. Whether it's painting a deck or different things like that. Also, do you have the patience to work through small mistakes? It's like, I just put this door on backwards. It's like, let me take it off, take everything apart, do it all again. Do you have the patience to do that? Or will you just like, go into a rage and tear it all apart? And, it's like, you have to know yourself on that kind of thing. So, um, and know that your timing is got to be flexible to be able to work through some of those issues and everything. Um, Also, to view any of your DIY home repair as more of a hobby than actual work, so that you can enjoy it, so that it's going to take some time. It's not your main huge focus or something like that. Just to enjoy the process. Then you can enjoy the final result even more. Um, and again, like Patty said, are you okay with good enough, right? So when is the best time to hire a home improvement contractor? Um, Especially if there would be a mistake that was made that could have serious or disastrous consequences. Like, let's say the electrical wiring. I don't really know anything about it. I could learn some stuff on YouTube. I could maybe have a friend come over and help with it or something. But, um, you know, um, it's like if I don't wire something correctly, I could short something out and start a fire in the house, right? And it's like that would be really bad. And the other thing is, um, there might be an insurance company that would find out it's like, okay, so there's a source of fire, and they're going, well, it's because you wired this wrong. Would your insurance even cover something like that? If it was something that I did that created that issue, that's something you'd have to know that your policy would cover. You paid to have pea soaked carpet removed. Ooh, I know. Exactly, Carrie. Ew. Tomorrow you're paying someone else to fix your truck because you don't know how. Yeah. So, also to know if whatever project you're doing, whether it's a renovation, um, building a shed or whatever, if you have like zoning issues with wherever you are, um, would that renovation or or the build, would that require permits? If you don't know that, you just start right into something or whatever, and all of a sudden you get slapped with a fine and penalties or because you don't have all that. That's where a professional would know exactly what needs to be done. And because they're insured, they're licensed, they know all that stuff that would have to be handled. So, serious danger is a good one. Yeah. 24-inch diameter oak. Ooh, ooh. That good idea, Dave. Good idea. House in town burned down to the ground, occupant died. Why? Yeah, so definitely those kind of things. Another thing too, we've kind of touched on this a bit for a contractor, is if your time is spent better on something else. Like for me, I'm here at home working. And let's say I've got a website that I've got to get to, and I that's my bread and butter, really. And so it's like I can't get to that work because I'm fixing something else and doing all that work. So am I truly saving $1,000 to have somebody else come and do it when it's costing me triple that in my time that I'm not earning that money, that kind of thing. So got to kind of weigh that. Um, tree crushing houses. Oh, yeah. And the way you guys get storms around there, I know that that's the one you have to do that, but you don't have the commercial insurance if it goes sideways. Exactly. Kind of the last big thing that you would want to have a contractor for would be is if you are selling your home and you're planning on it and you're trying to get things fixed up and get done. Um, if a potential buyer sees a real amateur job that you've done, that could be a real turnoff and you may not be able to sell it. So if they see something is done well and really professionally, that's going to add to the value of your home. It's going to add to the sellability, all that kind of stuff. So those are kind of some things to think about. There's a list of projects that this particular website considered DIY. So some things that you could do yourself: demolition and all cleanup type of efforts, landscaping, most painting. I mean, I've painted the walls in this house so many times. So, I mean, I'm kind of an old hand at that. Hanging light fixtures. I have a light fixture, a pendant light that I've been wanting to hang for 2 years in the living room, and I don't know how to do it, and I'm not sure how to do it, and I don't wanna hire somebody out for $500 to have them hang it, and so it's still sitting there, and I haven't gotten it up yet. So that, I probably could do it, but I'm f I'm afraid I'm gonna drill this 4-inch diameter hole in the ceiling in the wrong spot, and all of a sudden, oh man, I got a hole in the ceiling. I gotta move it over 3 inches. That type of thing. So, um, oh, Wendy, I'm so sorry to hear that. I did not know that. Um, crown molding is another thing you can do. Baseboards, quarter round, caulking, hanging interior hall and closet doors, kitchen backsplash, changing light switches and outlets, removing the old roof, removing it. You could do that. So, some things you really would be good to have a contractor for if you don't have, again, if you don't have the tools or skill set or the ability, time, all that kind of stuff. Exterior doors, wall removal, sheetrock, laying brick, refinishing hardwoods. I have refinished my hardwood floor in the den here before, but that was many years ago. It's 20 years ago. For me to handle a big sander again, I don't know that I want to do that. A lot changes in 20 years as you get older. Um, plumbing, electrical, exterior painting, um, doing brick and buildings and stuff, porches, gutters, and laying new roof, tile work, cabinet installation, granite installation, windows, and window trim. So, in the end, it's all about striking a balance with what you're comfortable with and what you can afford. So anyway, I hope this gave you guys some good ideas. So what did Carrie have? Need to invite relatives you know how to your house reunion. There you go. It's like sounds like your to-do list. Oh, yeah. You're learning to build raised beds there. See, just exactly, Dave. The plants don't care how they look. That's so true. So very true. Well, you guys, our hour is up already. And exactly, we share and we grow together. So I have a busy week coming up. I hope you guys have a great week. And so just take care. God bless. Always have hope and stay safe in all those storms. And be careful if you are up on that roof taking care of any leaks. All right. You guys take I forgot. My garden tip. Um I haven't done these for a while. So it's early spring. So and I know it's different for all of you guys, but for here we've just been without snow for like a week or something. But anyway, once the snow is gone, get out and weed or clean up your garden so that there's less work when the planting actually starts. I still have 4 weeks before I can plant, but we've had enough warm days and rain and stuff like that where things are starting to grow in there, even though I know we still have some frost coming. So I do need to get out and into my beds and clean up all the stuff. You guys like this one. I'm sorry, I'm kind of going a bit long. Oh, I lost some people here though too. Um, they're gonna miss out on this. I'll save that for next week. So anyway, um, did somebody come back on? All right. Well, since most people have left, I'll wait on this. So you guys, we'll talk to you next week. Have a good week and a good night.